Welcome back to another episode of A Side Of. We are your hosts. I am Chris. With me is Justin.
Yes.
Of course. And today we're going to do something kind of different, kind of mix it up a little bit. We're going to mix it up and try something new. Change is always good.
Not always.
Man, undermining me, and we're only less than a minute in.
Yeah. So what we're going to do in this one, we haven't picked a thing. This isn't like A Side Of Beetlejuice or some shit. This is what we call First Impressions. We picked 5 shows. Each of us threw 2 down, and then we picked like a random one or something. But so we picked 5 shows. The idea is we go in, we each watch the first episode of each show, take a few notes, our first impressions, and then we're going to discuss them here. And then by the end of the episode, we're going to decide what we feel like actually watching.
Pretty much. Because we have a thing right now where we have like a game that we're working on, a show that we're working on, and sooner or later we're going to do this thing called Double Feature.
Yeah.
Which we're going to get to later.
Sooner or later. You'll find out about that in the future.
But yeah, after Gravity Falls, we're like, well, what do we do next? There's so many things we could do and that we want to do.
Yeah.
So we decided, might as well do this.
How do we pick a theme, focus the beam of our brain power?
Actually, I don't know if you want to do this now, Justin, but kind of as an honorary mention, it's not one of the shows we're doing notes on, but it is a show that we have seen the first episode. At least I've seen the first episode with you, was Berserk.
Yes. Oh, it was awesome.
I don't know if you want to talk about that now before we get into the actual shows, or if you want to do it
we could talk about it right now. I thought it was awesome. It was a cool show. The reason I went and checked it out is because of Death Battle, and it was pretty fucked up, but it was so, metal, and I loved it. So I'm probably going to watch that series at some point, even just by myself.
The parts that I saw, because we saw it together, but we were, a bunch of us were over at Justin's house, and it was super late by this point, and so I was passing out, but I just remember, waking up, and there was this dude that was like a snake demon kind of thing.
And then Guts cuts it in half, blows its face up with a fucking arm cannon, shoots it in the face a bunch of times with his arrows. It was pretty cool.
Dude, his name is Guts. Come on.
Guts. He gets burned, you're going to get fucked up.
But if you like metal, you might like this show. It seems like it's a very...
It's so, there's gore and action, and it's, brutal, and it just seems just so metal.
Intense.
Yeah. He cleaves a fucking giant snake demon in twi. And it doesn't die. It lays there, talking to him while he shoots it with arrows. It's beautiful, dude. It's a beautiful show.
We'll definitely have to check it out. It is. I think it's on Netflix, or at least there's a movie. I think there's a movie based off of it.
It's also on the internet.
Well, yeah. So, okay, I think we're good to move on to the very first show.
Should we announce? Well, not announce. I mean, we're going to get to it. But should we tell them what each of the shows is, or just do them as we come to them?
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know that, but I mean...
Okay, I guess a quick run-through. We're doing Naruto.
The first episode of Naruto, yes.
We're doing Digimon Data Squad, which is the
fifth show?
Series?
Yeah, I don't know if it's fifth season, but it's the 5th show.
In Japan, I don't think they call them series. I think they just call them seasons, regardless of...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we did Code Geass.
Yes.
Justin, would you like to do the full name of Gurren Lagann?
Oh, Super Tengen Toppan Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, we did that. And then we did Pokemon Black and White, which is the
14th?
Whatever.
I want to say 14th season.
Holy crap. Yeah, so the 14th season of Pokemon. But, yeah, we're going to go through...
Code Geass. Did you mention Code Geass?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like we said, we only watched the first episode because it's just first impressions. It's
exactly.
Is there enough in that first episode to make us want to come back? And
so basically our notes here, or at least my notes here, I took notes based on each show's opening shots, their intro if they have them, their outro if they have them, the art style and animation, characters, voice acting, the music, and whatever wow factor or gimmick that they kind of have. And then I rated each show 1 to 5 based on how eager I was to, see the next episode.
Yeah.
And then we're going to just discuss with each other by the end and pick what we feel like continuing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think the first show that we're going to start with is Naruto, because of the shows that we picked, this is kind of the neutral one. We had heard of it.
I've seen Black and White. I've never actually seen Code Geass or Gurren Lagann or Digimon Data Squad or Naruto, so... But he's seen those besides Naruto.
I didn't see actually Digimon Data Squad.
Yeah. Or Black and White.
Or Black and White. So those are the kind of the... But part of the reason we picked up Naruto is because we have a friend named Anthony, and he said, it's a really good show.
He really likes it.
He really likes it.
He loves it, but I don't know if that's quite true.
I don't know. I don't want to put him on the spot and be like, yeah, dude, you love this show. No.
What? No, I don't. I only like it as a friend.
But, I'm sure listeners have heard... You have to have heard of it, unless you're completely disconnected from the anime community as a whole.
Yeah.
You don't even have to like anime.
It.
Yeah, you see the people... When it was big, people were wearing the headbands.
I remember.
I remember in high school...
I remember.
Yeah, you remember seeing those kids with the
anime club?
Yeah.
Yep. Which, by the way, a little side note, it always annoyed me in that well, I guess it's not a class, it was an anime club, but we went and sat in a class at lunch. But it always annoyed me. They watched every fucking anime subtitled instead of dubbed. And it's like, okay, I get it, sometimes it's better or whatever, but come on. If it's in English, just watch it in fucking English. Don't be these weeaboo otaku motherfuckers or whatever.
And it's not even... And the TV wasn't even that big, so if you weren't up close...
You couldn't read it.
Exactly.
The TV was tiny, actually.
So unless you had front row seats, you're just kind of guessing what's going on in this show.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, all right, so we'd go in, they'd be like, all right, we're going to watch this. Like, oh, okay. And then the whole thing was just watching it, and then we'd go.
We didn't even discuss it or anything. What kind of ass-backwards fucking anime club is that? I would have loved to get into some discussion. See, and that's the thing that's really effed up, because the head of the anime club was the composition teacher. I mean, you would think that she would, try to spurn us to actually discuss these things, talk about it.
I don't think she really cared.
Yeah, she just liked watching it.
She's just like, you guys want to do this? I don't give a crap. I'm Miss Golden.
Fuck yeah. She is golden.
But I guess we should probably start with the somewhat plot of the first episode.
Well, the episode is entitled Enter Naruto Uzumaki.
Exactly, and from what I understand, so there's in this world, which seems, I don't know technology-wise where they really are. I didn't see cars. Yeah. I didn't see planes, so I'm guessing in this world those really aren't a thing.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's particularly modern.
Right, you're not seeing people with cell phones or really any kind of mechanical gadgets.
And I don't think they said it or anything, but I don't think it takes place in like a actual I think it's just its own fictional world. Right,
it's not like our world in the past.
Yeah, it's not like Rurouni Kenshin where it takes place in like feudal Japan or whatever.
Right, and but they do have shoes, which now that I think about it, I never understood. If you look at Naruto's shoes,
his toes are exposed.
Her toes are exposed, and I'm thinking, what's the point of that?
And he's got an orange jumpsuit. That seems very strange for a ninja.
Yeah, a little bit.
But he's inspired very heavily by Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, you know what? Now that you say, I can kind of see it. He's a little bit like Goku, but Goku was more. It's kind of weird because I think Naruto's a bit more competitive, but it makes sense because he wants to be recognized. He wants to be noticed. Goku never really had that.
Yeah.
Which is funny because so Naruto doesn't have parents. His parents are dead. Goku's grandfather died when he was like a child. And he's just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he was younger. Everything's food to him.
Yeah. And same thing with Naruto, apparently. Apparently he's got a huge appetite. Or I might be thinking of someone else, but...
Yeah, he seems like he eats a lot. But anyway, so the plot is there's this kid named Naruto. Oh, okay. So I guess in this world there are groups, like communities of ninjas called villages.
Yeah. The
and,
village of the hidden leaves or whatever, and the village of sand or some shit like that.
Exactly, and in this one, there's this 9-tailed fox demon who is a giant, and he's just wrecking the town.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's actually part of the opening shots, which I thought the opening shots were pretty good. I mean, it was a bit, not plain, but it was very straightforward. They were just kind of like, yeah, so this happened, there was this thing, and that's what happened. But,
pretty much.
I mean, it worked. It got you right into what was going on. You didn't really have to learn a whole lot.
Right, they didn't just, one of the problems is exposition is important.
Mm-hmm.
But when they just could, like,
bombard you with
the crap, yeah, you're
when
like,
they go full Taya, that's when it gets really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyone listening, if you've not watched the original Yu-Gi-Oh show, the anime, go watch it and just pay attention to Taya, because she will repeat exactly what just happened the moment it happens every fucking time.
Step by step, just in case you missed it or weren't paying attention.
It's like Pegasus, I can see all the cards in your hand, Yugi boy. And then Taya immediately afterwards, I think he can see all the cards in his hand. It's like, okay, I'm done with this.
Thank you, Taya. You serve a very useful purpose.
You're very prolific.
But, so they introduced this idea of a Hokage, which I think is the strong, like the leader of that.
They're like super ninjas or something. At least that's
right,
what
I
got out of it.
And to my understanding, yeah, the Hokage is like the strongest ninja in that place.
Oh, I went to click Hokage, and it just opened up the character. I was like, damn it, I want to know what they define Hokage as. Okay, Hokage.
Okay.
Hokage, literal meaning fire shadow, are the leaders of Konohagakure, which is the land? I don't know. They're generally acknowledged as the strongest in the village, although ideology and renown plays a large part in their nomination for the position. 6 shinobi and 1 kunoichi have gained this title so far, with another shinobi gaining the title of Hokage candidate. Well, the shinobi are the ninjas, right? What's the kunoichi?
Kunoichi is like female ninjas.
Oh, a female ninja is known as a kunoichi. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So, and so a lot of people died trying to fight it, and the Hokage even dies.
Yeah, he shows up and, seals it or something.
Yeah, and,
in a baby.
In a baby, which I gotta wonder, is that really the best? I mean, I understand he's killing people left and right and destroying your village, but is putting it in a baby the smartest thing?
Yeah. And how does that work? If the person who's the vessel dies, will it unleash the Nine-Tails beast? Or will that do anything? Just put it in an old person and wait for them to die, and then no more Nine-Tails. I
think, to my understanding, if the vessel dies, the thing dies as well.
Oh, well then just put it in an old person and wait 5 years. Boom! Solved. No more Nine-Tails.
Pretty much.
But then you couldn't have Naruto.
Yeah. Plot, man. We're dissecting plot.
And they did the same thing, I guess. I only learned this from Death Battle with it's not Shikaku, is it? The sand demon that gets put into Gata? It's the same exact fucking thing. It's like, why? Couldn't...
Well, that one I actually know because of Death Battle, that they put it in him for a purpose.
To make him a weapon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But this one, I guess, just like, well, fuck this kid.
Fuck this kid.
So, yeah, they fight him, and then this Naruto is born, I guess, the day that this happened, so he puts it in him. He grows up, and the village just hates him.
Yeah, everyone is such
because they're like, "Oh, you're the demon." That's not how that works.
And so, to kind of because nobody gives him everyone gives him flack, and no one gives him attention, so he kind of acts out to try and get people to notice him. So he's always doing pranks and shit like that.
Right, he tries to be the class clown so that people will notice him.
And
the adults hate him. Well, most of the adults. There are a couple adults that show the Hokage.
Yeah, the current Hokage, not the one that died earlier or whatever.
And I'm trying to remember the dude's name. Iruka.
His teacher guy.
Yeah, basically, Iruka likes him because he's like, look, I lost my parents. I was like you,
an outcast,
minus the demon in you, but yeah. I was like you.
I always tried to act out so people would notice me.
But everybody else, everybody hates him. But the Hokage put a rule that I guess you could be put to death for, maybe. that you're not allowed to talk about the fact that Naruto has the demon in him.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember if it was death, but I just remember, like...
It was a
there's
rule,
scene.
yeah.
Yeah, and but the kids pick up on it. Like, the other kids in his class are like, oh, well, something's weird about that kid because all the parents dislike him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to kind of get the fuck away from that guy.
He's a raper. He's a raper and murderer.
So, in it, they want to become, there's levels of ninja.
Yeah.
And he wants to go to the next level, which is, what, like a Ganin or whatever the...
He wants to graduate so that he can become a ninja, I guess.
Right.
It's kind of... He's like in pre-ninja school or something.
And to do this, you have to make a clone.
Well, you have to pass your
cool.
test, but their test is the clone jutsu.
Is the cloning, which they don't really explain all that well in the first episode about, like, how are they able to just make a clone.
Yeah. Do they even mention chakra at all?
I'm sure they had to, in passing maybe.
Yeah, probably.
But they don't really explain it that well. And then, but Naruto sucks at it because of what they don't explain that either. He just sucks at it.
Yeah, he's just kind of lame.
And so this guy comes up and is like, "Hey, if you steal the super secret scroll and learn one of the moves in there, then you'll have to be a ninja.
Then they'll have to promote you. You'll graduate."
So he goes and he steals one because that's the only way he thinks he'll get it. And this freaks the village out because they're like, whoa, what?
This is a super powerful ancient scroll of fucking amazing secrets.
That a child ninja that's not even that good at being ninja.
Everyone else made multiple clones. He made one shitty, half-dead one. Kinda.
He made a paper jam.
Paper jam Naruto, yeah. It's better this way.
It's better this way. It's better this way for Paper Jam Naruto. And
believe it.
So the guy though that told him about the scroll kind of has this plan. You find out that he wants to. He's going to kill Naruto, take the scroll, and then I don't know, sell it or do something with it.
Do something.
And blame it on Naruto or some crap. And Iruka's also trying to get him. So it's a race to try to get to Naruto.
And actually, there were some cool things. I imagine this happens all the time, but there were some cool little intros to the ninjutsu. Well, I don't know if it's ninjutsu or if they're just called ninjas, if it's actual ninjutsu in the show or whatever, but
yeah.
There were some cool little things where, say, Naruto lands and then runs and flies off screen, and then the dude flies off screen after him, and then a bush turns over and it's Naruto, and he's like, ha-ha! There were some cool little things like that. This dude was chasing this other guy, and it turned out that Naruto was not this Naruto, and this guy was not that guy, because they can, change into each other and stuff.
Yeah.
So there were some cool little, bits of the actual ninja techniques and stuff, the jutsus or whatever.
Exactly.
Which was enticing.
And then, Iruka and... What is the dude's name? I should know his name.
The bad guy?
Yeah, the bad guy's name. What is Mizuki? So Mizuki and Iruka are saying, "Give me the scroll." No, give me the scroll because the other guy is just using you and doesn't really care about you.
Mm-hmm.
And Naruto actually finds out. He overhears them talking, and they say about the demon, and he's like, "Holy crap! I got a demon in me."
He starts crying because Iruka's because Mizuki's he's a beast. He's gonna kill everyone because that's what beasts do. And he's like, "You're right. That is what beasts do. But that's not what Naruto does. Naruto's not a beast." Then Naruto's behind the tree just bawling his eyes out "Oh my god, somebody loves me."
And then he bites because Iruka got injured trying to protect, which by the way is kind of a cool scene because Mizuki's thing, I guess, his trademark is that he has these giant throwing stars on his back. And he chucked one at Naruto, and Iruka just takes it in the back.
In his spine. There's just a giant fucking...
And he's just fine with... Well, he's injured, but it's not like he's crippled or anything, which you would believe. If that didn't kill you, you'd probably be crippled for the rest of your life, having
a giant fucking blade pierce your spine.
Exactly. But, so he's injured, and Naruto's like, "Okay, I'm going to defend you." And I guess the thing he learned from the scroll was multiple shadow clone jutsu.
Yeah.
And so he makes all these clones. And I guess normally clones don't have, any corporeal form. They don't, touch things. They're just kind of there as a mirage or an image. But Naruto's were could actually do.
They
things
were
with
all
the game.
fully formed, and he made like 50 of them or something.
Exactly.
He made a shit ton.
And then he got promoted, and that's kind of the end of the first episode.
I'm gonna be the best ninja, believe it.
It would be best ninja ever.
Okay, so on my notes here, the intro, because I already went over the opening shots. The intro is decent. I don't really have anything wrong with it. I like that it's not just some random fucking high-pitched, sing-songy, happy, song in fucking Japanese like every other anime seems to have. It's got a little bit of... It's kind of cool, It's a little bit faster. It's got guitars and shit. It's like... Whatever, It's decent. At least it's not bad.
Right, because some of these intros...
The Code Geass intro was just like, no, thank you. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they kind of ranged from I'd never have to watch this. Like, if I watch this show, I'll probably just skip the intro. For me it was like I could watch this, but again, none of them jumped out like, oh, this is so good, I need to rewatch it every time.
I always do anyway, just because it's kind of like, for me, it sets the tone, and it's like, all right, now I'm watching this show. Especially One Piece. I love the One Piece openings. But, I mean, I'm still at a point where they're all in English. You
haven't gotten to the...
I'm at the part where they're going to Skypiea. Like, I don't know what Skypiea is, but I'm at the beginning of that arc, I think.
Okay, so you've got... Shoot, I've got a ways to go, and I'm a couple hundred episodes past that point.
Yeah, I'm at, like, 140 or 50, like...
the outro to this show, to Naruto, was actually not that bad. I thought it was kind of cool. It was...
Yeah, on here I put outro, straight riffage, and then I drew a little smiley face. Because it's just guitar riffs. It's just, like, shredding.
So, a couple notes. I do like how ninjas kind of, like... It's almost like Dragon Ball Z, where they're like, okay, move, and then, like, when the Hokage's talking to them, and he's like, go, they just kind of shimmer, like they move very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like lines, and I kind of like that.
Flying through the fucking treetops at high speed.
Exactly, I thought that was pretty cool. Because they're ninjas, you would think they would be trained in moving very, very quickly.
Yeah. Their chakra probably also has something to do with it.
Yeah. So, I think this show... What do you think of this show in compared to One Piece in terms of comedy? I feel like Naruto focuses more on the comedy.
I really couldn't tell you, because I don't remember the things that happened in the first episode, and I haven't watched this show. So
okay. There's just like some comedy, like
there
when
was
Naruto,
one thing in the first episode of One Piece, I think, where Luffy like comes across a guy and the dude's just like, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you, and he's like, are you? And he just fucking owns him or something. That might have been.
Are you? Are you really?
I'm Naruto. I mean, I'm Luffy. You're not gonna do shit. I'm Gohan.
Okay. Something we actually didn't talk about is so. As with most shonen shows, the main character Naruto has like a goal that he wants to reach, and in this case, he wants to become the Hokage.
He wants to be the best.
Essentially, that's all it is. He just wants to be the best. It's kind of typical.
Yeah,
it's
for kind of like this. Reminiscent of every other anime ever.
Exactly. I just want to be the best there is. Okay, well that's
like no one ever was.
But you know what? Luffy's the same way. He wants to just be the king of the pirates, but...
Yeah. But his is less of being the best and more of finding the One Piece.
Yeah, it's just... he's not doing it to be the king. He's doing it because of the adventure that entails to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wants to be like his... We keep going back to One Piece, but he wants to be like Shanks.
Yeah, he has the spirit of freedom.
He does.
Spirit of D, or whatever.
Okay, again, I wrote down, like, if this scroll is so important, why is there not just, like, security all over the place?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, that bugged me a little bit.
But
like,
I don't think Naruto knew about it, so it's probably not, like, a public thing.
Okay, I could see that. Or maybe, like, it's hidden away somewhere, like... We know nothing about this scroll, and as far as I know, this scroll never shows up again, so it just kind of... It's just a plot device to give Naruto the ability, like his signature thing.
Yeah, his signature power of multiple shadow clone jutsu.
Which, what do you think about that as in terms of, like I'm sure he'll gain other things.
Oh, of course.
But it seems like that's going to be his trademark, is that he can just multiply himself a bunch of times. What do you think of that as a...
That's pretty awesome. It's pretty useful.
You can do lots of things with
I
it.
love how they all just jump on Mizuki at once, just beat him up.
Pretty
Like,
much.
oh! He just gets swarmed by like 12 of them.
Shit.
So
I think it's pretty cool. Like I think I saw somewhere in a clip that there's a move he learns, and he has a hard time doing it by himself. So the way he kind of cheats is he makes a clone, and the clone helps him to do it. Or some crap. I don't know.
Okay. Hold on. Art style? It's just fine. Like, it's not incredible. It doesn't look gorgeous or anything. It's not like super high quality like I was gonna say AOTS, Attack of the Show. No, Attack on Titan. But it's not like bad. I mean, everything works fine. Everything looks just fine.
Yeah, it's average.
The animation, same thing. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's pretty average. Although it's not that bad. Like, the action is not that bad as far as all the animation's concerned.
But we haven't seen like a full-on fight yet. We just saw
true.
like we gotta wait till we see a fight happen between these ninjas, which should be pretty cool.
That would probably be pretty epic. All right, characters. Naruto is mischievous, and I like it. I kind of like that he acts out so that he can get attention and all that. He's not just like a bumbling idiot. He kind of is, but it's not like he's that bumbling. He's like doing it on purpose in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't really care about anyone else. Like, I give no fucks about anyone.
You know, I gotta say, I don't know if you noticed this.
So,
I'm sure you did. You noticed the whiskers on his face, right?
yeah.
And then whenever there are scenes where he'll like look at you, but his eyes are squint, so he looks like a fox.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. That whole believe it. Yeah, I could go without that.
I actually don't mind that because because right here, voice, everything's pretty typical. You know, it's not bad, it's not amazing, but I do like Naruto's voice. Although
it does fit.
I feel like it could get grating, but it might not. You know, because I just like the character.
Well, so you, yeah, they really didn't focus on anybody else, but there was a scene that I'm kind of curious about. So the pink-haired chick, Sakura,
yeah.
She like does something. I think she does the clone jutsu, and then like the screen kind of goes black, and there's like this outline of her, and it's like, yeah, I did it, or some crap. But
yeah.
I what is that about?
I don't know.
Is she got like a split personality? What's up with that?
I have no idea. But there's the thing that happens right after that. I thought that was pretty funny. The next guy, Sasuke, is that who he is?
The black-haired guy with the blue.
The best student. You can tell.
Yeah.
He just has got his hands in his pockets and he just kind of walks up, transforms back, walks away. Yeah, I got this shit.
He's the Piccolo of the group.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's very quiet.
I was gonna say he's the Vegeta, but he's not like bad. He's just kind of a loner. Which something I don't know why they feel the need to drive this home, but being an orphan sucks.
Yeah.
Like, Naruto's an orphan, his life sucks. Aruko Sensei was an orphan, his childhood sucks.
Yeah.
Yes, we get it, being an orphan blows.
Not always. You could be Otto and go to the fucking future and travel in time.
Oh, yeah, but before that, he was living in a really shitty orphanage.
It's true. It's so true.
Which, who knows how long he was there for, so...
Anyway, music, everything fits. I mean, nothing really stood out to me. Well, actually, no, that's not true. There was one song that stood out to me, but that's because I used to watch... Well, because I still play WoW, but I had a huge, time when I just didn't. And back in the day, which really wasn't that long ago, but back in the day, I used to watch all these various, WoW videos and stuff, different classes and whatnot, right? Usually PvP videos. There was one, I think the guy's name was Grim, and it was Total Annihilation or something. And I remember the opening shots had this song. It's the one that plays whenever anything sad happens in this show. And I noticed the song, and I was like, hey, that's totally that fucking song. But everything else was kind of whatever. I like the guitars, but it all fits. Nothing's too grand or anything, or too...
the music went up-tempo when stuff was happening, and then it knew when to not be when the serious moment came up.
Yeah, it all worked.
One little tidbit that I thought was kind of funny. I guess it's not really. I put down Naruto did this, but I guess it was Iruka because there's a scene where Mizuki's chasing after Naruto and trying to convince him that Iruka Sensei is bad.
Yeah.
They're running through the trees, but it turns out that that's actually Iruka disguised.
Mm-hmm.
But the way Naruto is running through the trees,
he's like hopping through it.
Yeah, he's like a frog. The other guy's like running, like hopping on his legs, but this Naruto's using all four, arms and legs to get across, and I thought that was kind of cool,
Yeah.
But
the last
because he's a fax.
Yeah, because he's a fax.
Yeah.
The last thing I have written down here, because we've been through all the others, is the WoW factor. I like the ninjas. I think I like that they're ninjas. I mean, I like ninjas, so that's cool. But I like it. I like that they've got their chakras to do what's essentially magic. And it's enticing, I want to see more. I want to see some actual battles. I want to see some later episodes like One Piece where you're 130 episodes in and it's like a super epic showdown between Naruto and this one guy who would essentially be Crocodile, Like,
yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see the epic 3-episode battles.
Yeah, Chakra. I when I first heard about it, I'm like, oh, it's kind of like Ki from Dragon Ball Z. But from the looks of it, because Ki, I think it's Ki or Chi, Ki in Dragon Ball Z, it doesn't really do magic.
It's not. It's just like your inner will and like
your
oneness
energy.
And your it's metaphysical. It's not like it's not magic.
It's not magic. All it really does, I mean, you can make that energy have a form and then use it to blow shit up, which is essentially all they ever do with it.
Well, no, they use it to fly and to shield their bodies.
Fly, it's some kind of shield and blow shit up.
It blows a lot of shit up.
It blows a lot of shit up. But in Naruto, you can disguise yourself. You can make fucking.
You can walk upside down on trees.
Exactly. You can do a lot of crap.
Make clones of yourself, yeah. Control the elements and shit like that.
So do you have any other notes? Because I think we're good to rate. By the way, we're going to rate these out of 5.
Yeah, 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, my rating for this is a 4. A solid 4. I'm pretty enticed. I would like to watch the show, but it's not the best of the list, but it's pretty good.
Okay. I gave it a 3. Because I've seen shows like this. This isn't like my first rodeo. But one of the things that got me interested is just how long the series is. I mean, it has to be decent for it to go as long as it has.
That's true. At the same time, it's daunting.
It is. It's a little intimidating to come into a show that's hundreds of episodes long.
Yeah.
But that just means if it's really good that you have a lot to look forward to.
Exactly.
But so I gave it a 3 out of 5. It could be better, it could be worse. I don't know if I like Naruto as the main character yet, so
I have seen the next episode, and I got to say this first episode is better.
The next one's better than the first one?
No, this episode's better than the next episode.
Oh, well, good, great.
My name is Konohamaru. But it's not like it's bad or anything. It's just this one was more interesting, in my opinion.
So are we good to move on?
Yeah, we're good to move on. We should probably not spend so much on each one, otherwise we're never going to get through the video.
Well, how long did it take us to get through that first one? 30 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about.
It's true. But I'm sure, like, Digimon Data Squad we won't talk as much on, or, like,
probably.
Pokemon. Alright, so the next one I'm going to choose.
Yep.
So let's do Gurren Lagann, because that was awesome.
Okay. So, Hold
on, the first episode is Bust Through the Heavens with Your Drill!
So, before we talk about the plot, I have seen Gurren Lagann throughout the entirety of the show.
Yeah.
But this was a while ago. This is, I think, maybe not when it first came out, because the first time I saw it was on Netflix, and in its entirety, which, dude... Okay, I don't know if I told you this before, but I was watching it, and for whatever reason, Netflix just didn't have an episode in there.
Ooh.
And it took me a minute. I'm like, wait, what happened? Like, all of a sudden, because something really big happens in this episode. And I'm sitting here like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Why is everybody? Why is what? And then I realized, oh, there's an episode missing, and I had to go find it. I don't know, but and I really liked it, and I was the one who suggested we watch it, and to try to get your opinion, Justin, on it, because you haven't seen any of it.
No, I haven't. The only thing I know about it is from Death Battle, forum, not actual Death Battles. Apparently, this show is on such a huge cosmic scale. They're not like throwing planets at each other; they're throwing galaxies at each other.
Yeah, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
So that's pretty fucking cool. I'm eager to see how that all turns out.
Would you like to like give a kind of a summary of what kind of happens in that first episode?
Not a whole lot at first. Like, the second half is definitely a lot better than the first half. But it's basically just, there's an underground city. Well, it's not even a city, it's a village. Called Geass, I guess. And there's a kid, Simon. He just drills, like, he loves to drill. He just fucking drills. Because why not? And he meets this dude, Kamina. Wait, does he meet him, or did he already know him?
They knew each other.
Oh,
It's a small village. You're gonna know everybody.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if Kamina was like a part of the village or if he just showed up.
Yeah.
Okay, but he calls him Big Brother, I guess. But they don't have like an actual relation. But they're like, I think Kamina calls their group Gurren or something like that. Or no, Lagann. And then when they find the robot, he names it Gurren, and that's why it's Gurren Lagann. But so nothing really happens at first, and then at one point it just goes way over the top, and like a giant fucking creature attacks them, and this chick with a sniper rifle shows up, and they find a robot, and all that. It's pretty cool. I'm sure you can give a better summary because you've seen the show multiple times.
Let me give just a couple finer points. So in this world, we don't know why, but these humans are living underground.
Okay.
And they've been underground long enough that the leader of the village, he says there's not even an above ground. It's just the ceiling is as high as it goes.
Yeah, and the kid, like, he wants to see the heavens or whatever. Or Kamina wants to see the heavens or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's like, there is something above us. You just, you're old and you don't...
He says he's seen it before. I've seen it.
And Simon, like Justin said, he digs holes, but it's because since they don't go up, they don't go through the surface, to make the village bigger, they have to keep going down.
Yeah.
And Simon is the best digger that they have in the community.
Plus, he loves his little drill.
He does, and he's kind of a loner. He drills holes because he's a little social awkward, and his parents are dead. Another orphan.
Mm-hmm.
They died in a cave-in. Okay. And what's his name? Kamina. His parents are dead, I guess. He never brings them up in the first episode. Yeah. So they're kind of a ragtag team, and one day Simone comes up and finds this itty bitty drill, like this little drill, like it's smaller than your thumb.
Yeah, it's like essentially it's just a tiny little cube. It's a tiny little pyramid.
Right, and then he finds this like face, like almost a human-esque face in the ground, but it's huge. It's bigger than his whole body. This face, and he's like, "What is this?" And he drills around it, and he sees that it's a very small mech. Like, as far as mechs goes, that's probably the smallest I've seen.
I do like the way his mech is. Like, it's not a mech suit like you would think. It's just a fucking face. Like, that's awesome. It reminds me of that villain from Marvel. The one that's...
Oh, MODOK?
MODOK, yeah.
Yeah.
Was he a Spider-Man villain, or...?
I don't know whose villain he was, but...
I don't know Marvel that well, but yeah. He's just like a face.
And so they're chilling in the village, and all of a sudden the ceiling starts cracking, and this... basically a bigger version of the small mech that Simone found crashes through, and they're like, holy shit, there is an above ground.
Yeah, it's like I want to say... Is it like a giant, like, wolf mech or something like that?
Ah, gee, I'm trying to remember.
It was trying to bite them. I remember giant jaws.
Yeah, because the mechs in this universe have faces.
Yeah.
You know, like, I guess other mechs have faces, but these ones are giant faces, and they can actually, like, the mouth can move. Mm-hmm. You know, that's kind of a cool thing. And
it was almost like it was a living mech, is what it felt like to me.
Pretty much.
Like it was a wild animal mech.
And,
I don't like Zoids, actually.
Yeah, actually, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it almost seemed like, yeah, Zoids is the best way to describe it. I was trying to think of like, yeah, it's like, no, it's not. So they meet, this girl drops down, and they, what is her name? I should know it. What is her name?
It is... I can't find it written here.
I know, what is her name?
It just
Yoko.
says the girl. Oh, her name's Yoko?
Yoko, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. Simon comically lands on Yoko.
Okay, so Yoko, and she is just fan services I've ever seen. She drops in, she's wearing very tight, like, almost
Bikini.
booty shorts. Well, she's wearing a bikini top. That's it for the top. And then booty shorts. And,
It's just a
but
fucking
she's
sniper rifle.
here's the thing, Justin.
What's up?
Yoko is 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you wouldn't have guessed. If you looked
Yeah,
at her.
I would not have.
What is, So, they get in the mech, and, they beat the robot somehow. I'm trying to remember how they do it, but they just kind of beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but what they do is they actually go through the top ceiling, and it's really cool because they get shot up in the air. All three of them are in the small mech, and there's this really cool shot where they're looking over, like, basically the planet from the sky, and it's kind of cool because on one side the sun is rising, and you can see the sun, and it's red. On the other side it's blue because the moon is over there, and it's really kind of cool.
One of the things in this that I like so far is I like the dialogue, because it's silly, but at the same time it's not, and it's really, like, uplifting and triumphant.
Yeah.
Yours is the drill that shall pierce the heavens! Like, that's just awesome to me. I don't know why.
Pretty much.
Don't believe in yourself, believe in the Kamina that believes in you.
Pretty much. You gotta love Kamina. He's so gung-ho.
He
and just
really
like,
is.
He's a man's man.
He's so laid back, too. He's just kind of awesome.
He's almost like a surfer mixed with, like, a burly man.
Kinda, yeah.
You know, he's very tough and, like, in your face, but when he's not tough and in your face, he's really chill and laid back.
Yeah. So,
but
one of my things here, opening shots are intriguing. I don't remember exactly what the opening shots were, but, I mean, they were intriguing, I guess. The animation, it seems decent, you know. The show's wacky, but I'm digging it.
okay.
The art style, I do like it. It looks pretty good. I like the way the characters look.
They're very fast. They're very, like, fast. Like, when the action happens, they're very good at drawing action, which is good because a lot of shit happens.
Well, I also like the way the characters look. It's not like Code Geass, where they're all really, like, thin and lanky, but they're not, like, short and stocky. They all seem very properly proportioned.
Okay.
The characters, I haven't seen enough, but, you know, it seems promising. I do like Kamina, but I haven't really seen them do enough stuff to really judge.
Okay.
The voice acting is fine. You know, not spectacular. It's not bad.
I gotta say, Kamina's voice is basically what I pictured. Like, I'm sure there are other people that could do it better, but that is a pretty good...
It's a good voice for him.
Yeah.
Let's see. The music, just fine. You know, same thing. It's not bad. It's not great. Nothing really stuck out to me, but nothing detracted. So it all seemed like, you know, it should go where it goes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and there wasn't an intro or an outro, I don't think.
No, not really.
Oh, no, there was an outro. Yeah, it's written right here.
Yeah.
Outro, not annoying, and then there was a decent enough cliffhanger, I guess.
Pretty much.
But
So, let me ask you a couple things about the show, because I've seen it. I know how it ends and everything.
yeah.
What do you think of the... First of all, what do you think of the mech designs? The fact that they have the giant
Yeah, I
face?
think it's awesome.
You like the...
It's
funny thing
different, and it's funny.
not communist. Simone's mech, like, and his is the only one like this. His is super short. Like, the humans are almost as tall as them.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
And the rest of the other mech that you see is giant compared to. It's basically the size of a mech you would picture when you think of a mech.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and his has a drill. It's the perfect weapon for you.
Yeah, because he's a drill. The drill plays kind of a big part in this show, if you haven't picked up on that already. So what do you think of, like the world that they presented you, a world where
we don't
people
know, like, I don't know anything about it.
Is it intriguing though? Do you want to know
Yeah,
more?
I'm a little curious. Why are they here? What's this whole shtick? Did everyone go underground because they're just mechs above, or like what's the deal with that?
Yeah, why are some people underground, but yet this Yoko chick is above ground?
Exactly.
And why is she fighting the mechs? Did they ever show who was piloting the
No.
mechs?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
And that's why I felt like it was more like a wild mech or whatever, you know? It was like a wild animal mech.
Do you want me to tell you if it is or
No.
not? Okay. But, yeah, I mean, what else? I'm trying to think.
I have a little thing written down here. First half is okay. Picks up second half. Very interesting. I like the mechs. It's very uplifting. It's wickedly triumphant. It's a little cheesy, but in a good way.
That sounds like something you would read in, like, a newspaper.
Yeah.
Or a
Yeah.
triumphant... What, say that again about the triumphant.
Wickedly triumphant.
Wickedly triumphant. That is something you would see, like, on the
That's
on the front
exactly
of the
what came to mind. I don't know why. But that's what came to mind when I was watching it.
So, this is actually kind of hard for me to rate because I've seen it.
Yeah.
I know where it goes, and part of me is like, I would love to go on that adventure again to rewatch all the fun that I had, and it would also mean that you would get to watch it, which I think you would really like.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there are other shows that we've seen that I haven't seen.
Exactly.
That I would want to maybe check out.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you overall give this out of 5?
4.5.
Wow.
I didn't give anything a 5. My highest I went 4.5. But it's basically like, yeah, I'm totally ready to watch this.
Okay, so...
And actually, one of the things I really like, I don't know if it's like this, obviously I haven't watched the show, but it seems like it's a very good, like, contrast to a show like Attack on Titan, where it's very depressing. This one just seems very, like One Piece. It's very fun and happy and uplifting. I keep coming back to that word, but that's what I feel about the show, you know? It's triumphant.
But just of the audience, just to give you an idea, just because he gives it a 4.5 doesn't mean that he will give these ratings just so you have an idea what we think of them.
Yeah.
And kind of an idea as to what we're leaning towards, but that won't... At the end, we're going to kind of try to convince, like, we're going to talk like, well, why should we watch this show?
Yeah.
Or why should we watch that show?
Yeah.
I give it another 3. A lot of these are going to be 3s for me for certain reasons, and I'll explain why. But the reason I give it a 3 is it's a really good show. I really enjoyed it. But there are other shows that I haven't seen that I'm like, I kind of want to...
Yeah. It's because you've already seen it.
But based on, like, if I would recommend... I highly recommend this show.
Oh.
It was hugely popular when it came out.
Oh, yeah?
But it only lasted 26 episodes. That's the big difference between this show and, like, Naruto, One Piece, or Bleach.
Mm-hmm.
It was really popular, but then it ended.
Yeah.
So other things came, and now other things...
Yeah, it's just kind of pushed off the radar.
And this show is actually kind of newer. This show actually originally aired in 2007.
Oh, dang.
So it's not even 10 years old. These other shows we're going to watch, or I've looked at, are kind of old.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. I don't know when hold on. Naruto came out originally in 2002.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So it's a little...
Wait,
it's
that's
a little
originally 2002 in America.
Oh, no, in America it's 2005.
Oh, 2002 in Japan, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just kind of give an idea.
I figured it would have been out in the 90s, like a bunch of other ones.
It's close enough.
Yeah, that's true. All right, moving on. Gurren Lagann, we're good with that one, right? Anything else you want to say?
Nah, pretty much. It's a good show.
Yeah, I did enjoy it.
All right. Moving on to my choice. I'm going to do Digimon.
Digimon, Data Squid.
So this one
Data Squid
is even more neutral than Naruto was, because Naruto, I'd actually seen a couple episodes years and years and years ago when it first came out on Cartoon Network. But this show, neither one of us have seen at all.
Yeah.
I've seen the intro to this show like some time back, but that's about as far as it went. I didn't know anything about the characters, didn't know anything about the story.
Yeah.
So going into this, went completely blind.
Yeah. By the way, the episode is called "There Are Monsters Among Us," in all caps.
So we should probably talk just very briefly about our history with Digimon as a series, not this show in particular.
Yeah.
I think you watched it right when the first series.
I watched the first and second series of Digimon fragmented. I didn't see every episode, but I did see a good portion of them. Not necessarily when they came out, but when I was a kid at some point when they were on TV. And
Okay.
I saw the Digimon movie that has the virus. I don't remember what it was called, but they go into the computer and the virus Digimon is gonna fire all the missiles and they mix together. Diaboromon. Okay. So I saw that movie, and then I saw some of the third series with the cards, and I saw some of the fourth series where they turn into the Digimon. And
you did see some of the second series.
That was it,
right?
Oh yeah, that's season 2 of with Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw probably more of that than any of the other ones when I was a kid.
The second series or the third?
The second series. So I remember Stingmon and all that shit and whatnot.
Vmon and Hawkmon, I think is one. Yep. I actually saw Digimon when it first came out on 4Kids. Or not 4Kids, Fox Kids or something.
Yeah.
Way back in the late
Saturday
90s.
morning cartoons or whatever.
No, it was a weekly.
Oh, okay. It was a weekly thing?
Yeah, or not weekly, every day. It was a daily
thing. Yeah, it's a daily thing, yeah.
I watched that. I watched the second series, which is a sequel. It's of the series. It's the only real sequel to anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Final Fantasy. Every series is kind of its own thing, with very loose connections, except for Series 1 and 2, which are direct sequels.
Yeah.
And in the third one, I believe it's supposed to be Our World because Digimon is a thing, but it's a show like in Our World. It's a fictitious thing, and then they're like, oh,
it's
wait,
it's
Digimon
a game that they play.
It's a card game.
Well, it's a card game, but it's also a computer game.
Was it a computer game?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen very much of the third season. That's the big difference between Justin and myself. He saw a lot of the third season. I saw a lot of the fourth season.
Yeah.
And neither one of us saw the fifth season, which we're going to talk about now. Do you want to talk about the plots of this one, or do you want me to?
Well, real quick. Street fighter Marcus Damon meets a strange dinosaur on the run from the government agency DATS, or DATS, and defends it from their agent Yoshino Fujita. That's exactly what happens the whole episode.
Okay, yeah.
So this kid, Marcus Damon, beats the shit out of a bunch of people because he's kind of a fighter, I guess.
He wants to be, as he puts it, the ultimate fighter.
Yeah, he wants to be an ultimate fighter. And so, Agumon shows up, which, by the way, I fucking hate Agumon in this show. I hate him. It just kills it. I might be biased because of my previous Digimon history, but I fucking hate him in this show.
You got to remember that if you haven't seen any Digimon at all, and this is the first you've heard of it, Agumon was the main, not the main, but in the first series,
he was the main character's Digimon.
Yeah, Tai
was the leader.
They all were. Tai is basically the leader, and his was Agumon. So Agumon was kind of a badass. But in this one, again, they went with Agumon again for whatever reason, and he is vastly
or
different.
Something. At least Geo Greymon's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I can't stand Agumon's voice, because it's not the voice. It's just different, and it's just wrong. But like I said, I might be biased.
So he runs into Agumon.
Mm-hmm. He fights him, which was pretty cool. He actually fights the Digimon hand-to-hand. But there is one thing about that I thought was pretty fucking stupid. He punches him in the face, and then Agumon punches Marcus in the face. But he's just got giant fucking claws. How do you punch someone with claws? He should have gashed his face open. He should be bleeding all over the floor.
You really should.
But
what are you going to do?
And, a chick shows up or something, and he's trying to, keep Agumon from them because it's a something or other. It got out, and it's now here, and so they need to send it back to the data world or some shit like that. And he's like, no, you can't. You can't do that. So they're trying to, convince him to join their group or some shit. And then a giant bird Digimon shows up, Kokatorimon, and he takes out Agumon, and that's actually a cool thing. I feel like they dropped the ball a little bit on this because it could have been cooler, but Marcus, attacks it, and, data goes around his hand or something so he can actually, hurt it or something, and then a Digivice shows up, and Agumon digivolves, and, it's very Digimon from that point on.
Pretty much. Which, if you don't know what that means, again, if you don't know Digimon, real quick, Digimon is kind of similar to Pokemon, only in that there are monsters, mon meaning monsters, but in this world, usually there's the human world, and then the digital world.
Yeah.
And they're usually separated. And these Digimon
often, bleed into the real world. That's usually a theme, is either the kids go to the digital world, or the Digimon come to the real world.
Exactly.
And in this case, the Digimon show up.
And they evolve, but the thing is...
They digivolve.
They digivolve, and a lot of times it's only temporary. They digivolve for the occasion.
Yeah. And they have levels, like Rookie, Champion, Ultimate, or whatever.
Ultimate and then Mega. And so that's basically all you really need to know, is that they can digivolve, but then they go back.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is true for all of the series, but for at least a few of them, the reason they digivolve is because the people make them digivolve. Like, they can't just inherently go and digivolve. They need the power of fucking love or friendship or some shit.
Well, no, because Leomon, if you remember from the first series, Leomon is like a champion level.
Well, yeah, but so is Andromon or whatever. But there are Digimon that are strong, but they don't digivolve I don't know. They just, like Piedmon, he just happens to be a mega level. It's not like he digivolved to be that. I mean, he probably did at some point.
I always figured, because they all start off as babies, so I always just figured that they did digivolve. It's just these Digimon are stronger because they have their Digidestined.
If I remember correctly, in at least the first series, a lot of the other random Digimon they come across, they can't digivolve because they don't have a person. That seems to be a main theme besides the bad guys, apparently. But usually, for Digimon to digivolve, they need, the love of a kid or something. Right. They need a Digidestined power, and that's what makes them strong. Yeah. So, I don't know if that's the case for this, but it is the case at one point at the end of this episode. Yeah. Agumon digivolves to Geogreymon because of Marcus.
Some of the finer details, just to reiterate. So, the reason that these DATS people are after Agumon is because he escaped from them, and that...
He could be dangerous.
He could be dangerous, and there's all these people... when the chick comes up, the agent, whose name is Yoshino, she comes up and she's like, Agumon knocked all these people because
there's all these 15 of them. Beat the shit out of these 15 people.
Exactly, and the guy, Damon's like, nah.
At the very end of the episode. He's like, but still got to take
no, I knocked those out.
It's like, no, I beat the shit out of them.
Because they were in my place.
Yeah, they're in his secret training ground or some shit. And, so I took them on, and I beat them all up, because I'm going to be an ultimate fighter.
Right, and they said, hey, why don't you join DATS? And what DATS is apparently in this world, Digimon are just kind of, they don't know why, but they're just showing up in the human world.
Yeah.
And if they can't be trained, if they can't, because everybody in DATS apparently has their own Digimon.
Yeah, Digimon partner.
Digimon partner, but if the Digimon that comes, is too rowdy
like Kokatorimon.
Like Kokatorimon, then what they do is they capture it and then do something to it and send it back.
It turns back into an egg, and then they put it back in the Digiworld.
Oh, okay, so that's what they do, and Agumon doesn't want to go back, and he doesn't. They ask him, Agumon, why are you here? And he's like, I don't know. I just ended up here for some reason. Yeah. And so that's basically what happens.
Nice. All right, so my notes here. The intro, really childish.
Hated it, dude.
It's basically every other Digimon intro, but at least, the first original intro is fucking awesome and catchy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, it might be biased because I didn't grow up on Digimon, but I grew up with Digimon.
Yeah.
So, it might just be me being cynical and biased and all that, but it seemed so bad and just bad.
Dude, what you need to do, and this is actually how I found out this show even existed. Go to YouTube, type in Digimon intros, all Digimon intros, and they'll actually play all of them And the first 3 are basically the same. There are a couple lyrics that they change, but the beat is still the same. The 4th one is vastly different, but I still really liked it.
Yeah.
The 5th one, though, is so bad compared, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's not a nostalgic thing, because the 4th one was vastly different, and I watched that as an adult.
Yeah.
And I think that's vastly superior to this one. It's just so bad to me.
Well, I'm usually pretty good about setting aside my adult cynicism and just trying to enjoy, like, kids' shows.
Yeah.
Like Gravity Falls, you know? If you listen to the Gravity Falls episodes that we did, I was super excited, and, you know, I really enjoy that show. So when it comes to this intro, it's so bad, cringeworthy. It was just childish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Art style, it looks like Digimon. I mean, you really can't... I mean, it's exactly the art style of Digimon. I mean...
Pretty much.
Which is good. You know, I'm glad they didn't go in some vastly different direction.
What did you think of the voice?
Hold on. Animation, just fine. Same. It's Digimon, you know. Digimon's not exactly the most pretty anime. It's not the most exciting anime in their fights.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. Characters, they're all kind of meh. Marcus seems cool sometimes, but at others, he's really, really lame. Like,
yeah.
he'll just, like, there was one part where he's like, I can't even remember what he yells, because it left no impression on me. But he's, like, going to fight Kokatorimon, and instead of just, like, saying something badass or just going over and fighting it, he's just like, it's time to rumble, or some fucking stupid line like that. And it's like, he's got potential, but he also seems so fucking lame.
I noticed that, like, basically, if you're trying to get an idea, just think of your stereotypical, like, Boston guy, like, hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Like, hey, like, basically that. I mean, both of them, too.
Yo, what's up?
Are like this.
Yeah.
And, I don't know why they decided to go in this direction. Usually the main character, the leader, because I feel like this guy is supposed to be the leader, is brave, but not necessarily a tough guy.
Yeah.
You know,
but
like,
in this case...
yeah, Ty was brave. That was the crest of courage was his thing.
Same thing with Davis. I mean, it wasn't a crest of courage, but he also had the courage.
The courage thing. And then, wasn't the guy from the third one not, like...
He wasn't. He wasn't a pussy or anything, but he was not, like, the courageous guy. I'm trying to remember his name. Takato.
Wasn't it like Takato?
Yeah. And then in the 4th series, I don't really know that much about him.
Oh, the 4th series, he's basically a mix between Davis and Ty.
Oh, okay. Actually, I liked Davis, I gotta say. I mean, I also liked Ty, but Davis was not that bad. At first he was, but he definitely got better as it went. And if that's the case with Marcus, watching this show, if he gets better, I could see myself really liking him as a character. But as of right now, he's got his moments, but he's also got his moments of just shit.
You know, this is just a small nitpick, but there's like a tradition in Digimon that the leader has goggles on his head.
Yeah.
And this guy doesn't.
Yeah, he has no goggles.
And that kind of bugs me a little bit. But that's a nitpick. Okay. That's not here or there.
Send him.
And then Agumon, they haven't explained this either, and I'm sure I hope they will.
Eventually.
But he's got like
belts.
Some kind of gauntlet.
No, they're belts.
With the belts? He's got belts on his hands for some reason.
Yeah, on his claws, like above his claws.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are Digimon that they've shown in other series that have like Terriermon evolved and he had pants.
Yeah, I've got pants now. Yeah, and your arms are fucking machine guns. Dude, Terriermon turning into Gargomon was so fucking cool.
And Leomon had pants.
Yep, he did.
But they evolved, and for whatever reason, their evolved form had clothes. But Agumon in the original series just didn't have these belts.
Yeah.
So what's up?
So this one's got the belts, and it's kind of different. And when he digivolves to Geogreymon has the belts.
And that's another weird thing. Why is it Geogreymon? Because originally it was just Greymon.
Yeah.
In the original series.
Mm-hmm.
So does the Geo add anything?
Yeah, I'm a little intrigued about that. Hold on. Voice acting? Bad. For the most part, it's average, but I say it's bad because I hate Agumon's voice. I hate it.
Pretty much.
And he calls him boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, boss. Yeah, boss. Like, they become friends as soon as they realize, we could beat each other up.
Yeah.
Camaraderie through violence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Outro, actually not bad. Because of the shredding.
Yeah.
So, pretty cool.
Um,
And then my last, notes here, because I didn't do that much for Data Squad, because I've already gone over it, but it just didn't capture me, probably because I'm biased, but, it says right here, I might be biased from earlier Digimons, but it seems lame. It's a cool enough concept, but it's iffy execution.
pretty much.
So, you got anything else you want to say?
I got a couple of notes here. I didn't see a lot of the third season. Did you watch the third season from beginning to end?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Not recently, but recently enough. As an adult. I didn't watch it all when I was a kid, but I did watch it all as an adult.
There's a lot in this that makes me think that they took a lot from the third season. Because in this one, Digimon come to it's not new. In every season, Digimon at some point or another come to the human world. It just happens.
Yeah,
of
course.
But there's this organization, like in the third series, that their job is to handle it. But in the third series, I think they were made to be the bad guys.
At first. By the end, they were not the bad guys at all.
In this one, they're immediately the good guys.
Plus, I gotta say, the leader of that group in the third one was infinitely better than the leader of the group in this one, purely because of Steve Blum.
Oh, was he voiced by Steve Blum?
I think he was, yeah. If I remember correctly. Which just gives bonus points.
Yeah, because if Steve Blum is in something, bonus points.
Oh, quotes. Let's see if there are any quotes here. Agumon, boss, I'm fine, but could you lend a hand? How about I lend a couple of fists? Ugh. That is just lame, Yeah.
I will say this. The thing that gets me the most about the show that makes me want to continue watching is just the fact that the main character fist fights with Digimon.
Yeah. That is a cool, difference about him.
In the first three series, what happens is Human finds Digimon. He helps Digimon to Digivolve, but the Digimon does all the fighting himself.
Yeah.
In the fourth series, the main characters become Digimon.
Yeah.
And then they fight. So this is the first human to fight a Digimon.
Oh, and they also sometimes turn into vehicles.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Don't you remember?
When do they turn into vehicles?
Not in this show, but in the... Oh, well, you never watched the third series. In the third series, Stingmon and whatever... not Guilmon, the second series. Stingmon and whatever, what's-his-face, Vmon becomes, they fuse together and make, Imperial Dramon.
Yeah,
and he's a giant airship, and he fly around the world. I don't know if you remember that. And then he goes into his, person form.
I don't remember the vehicle form, but that's kind of weird.
What about the armadillo that turns into the submarine?
That I remember, and I always thought that was weird.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it doesn't always happen, but some of them do turn into vehicles.
Okay. What else I got written down?
I'm ready to move on, besides my rating.
I just got,
whenever you're ready. Okay.
Okay, well, this isn't funny, but I guess they make a note to say that the digital world is collapsing, which is why Digimon are coming, maybe. And in Japan, every anime that I've seen, they have some reference to McDonald's. If they ever go out to a burger joint, it's always a McDonald's.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So what did you rate it?
2.
Ooh.
Yeah. I could see myself watching it at least a little bit, but as far as the rest of these are concerned, definitely not what I want to watch next. Because just there are parts that seem so lame.
Pretty much. So. I gave it actually a 4 out of 5.
Oh, very nice. Because you're interested in Marcus and where it's going to go?
Pretty much. And I want to know about the belts. I want to know about come on. Digimon hasn't let me down so far. And just because the first episode was kind of meh.
Yeah, it's true.
But
yeah, like I said, it's not like I don't want to watch the show, but in comparison to these other ones, because I watched it It was the third one I watched. So I had already watched Code Geass and Gurren Lagann, and Gurren Lagann got me really interested. So this, in comparison, was like, well,
well, compared to that. But when I give it a 4 out of 5, it's not so much because it was just that great of an episode. It's more just, as a Digimon fan, I'm really interested in seeing what's going to happen.
Exactly.
It's the curiosity that boosts it to a 4.
Yeah, I get it. There's another one that, actually, Pokemon, I gave it a really high score, but that's just because I'm super biased towards Pokemon. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
So that's pretty much Digimon. I mean,
okay, moving on.
I think we're good to move on to your choice. We only have 2 left.
Two left, yep. I'll let you take Code Geass since you've seen it, and I'll take Pokemon. So the next one we'll do, Pokemon Black and White. Because, it's not always black and white. But your heart always knows what's right. See,
so do we want to do...
It's not about win or lose, but the path you choose. Let our journey begin. Pokemon. Wow. That's the intro. It really grew on me.
Do we want to do kind of what we've been doing with the, I'll try to give a summary and then you give the finer points, or do you want to just give the summary?
Either's fine.
Okay.
You can do whatever.
Did it have an intro? It had an intro.
Yeah, though I just said the lyrics of it.
Remember? Yeah, I'm trying to remember it. Like, I guess
the journey is hard, or it's always hard when the journey begins. Hard to find your way, hard to make new friends. Something.
Oh, okay, yeah, I do have
It's not always black and white. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. Apparently, it was short.
Yep.
But I didn't like the music and I didn't like the 3D model that they used for it.
I at first did not like the intro either, but I always watch the intros, and as I watched this show, it really grew on me.
Okay. So let's see.
Synopsis.
Yeah. Synopsis. So I guess I'll give kind of what I remember from it, and
all right.
And then you can give the finer points.
Sure.
So, it's a new adventure for Ash.
Yep.
And
starting fresh in a new region.
Oh, you know what we didn't do? We did not do.
What we did?
Before we even start, our history with the series.
Oh, our history with Pokemon.
So,
you go
Justin
first,
and I...
mine will probably be longer.
All right, so Justin and I have both been playing Pokemon since Gen 1, Red and Blue.
Yep.
And, but show-wise... I have really only seen the Indigo Plateau, which is the very first series, and I guess the sequel to that, or the next season, which was the Orange Island.
Yep.
And that's really about it.
Oh wow!
I've seen a couple movies, like I've seen like probably maybe half now of all these movies that have come out.
Well, maybe not anymore. They keep coming out with movies.
I know I'm getting farther behind, but
by the way, the new movie is. Featuring the new legendary Hoopa, and from what I can tell, it's a gigantic legendary battle. Like, all these legendaries show up and just fucking fight each other. Nice. It might be worth checking out.
The reason I think I stopped watching Pokemon is, for me, I think I just got kind of older, and I don't remember what the next season after Orange Islands was.
It was, Adventures in Johto, or Journeys Through Johto, or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. And it's weird because I actually picked up the second, because the show has a tendency to kind of copy whatever game is out.
Yeah.
So it'll the next season's going to take place in this game's world, or this part of the world.
Yeah, this region.
And I played the second game, but I just never got into watching any of the Johtos. And,
mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what I did see? Because I used to see them sparingly, but as they kept going, I just stopped being interested. What season had May and Max?
That would be the third season.
Okay, so
Ruby Sapphire.
I did watch a little bit of that.
And then the fourth one, Diamond Pearl, is with Dawn. And then Black and White is this one.
Dawn, I remember
X and Y.
I remember one episode because I remember Piplup, but I never got into that. And I remember I was like, you know what, I'm going to check out Pokemon again. And I sat down and I watched the first episode of I don't remember what season it was. But you probably do. It's the one where it was weird.
He's just got Apom.
He's got Apom and Pikachu.
I think that's the start of the Diamond Pearl.
okay, so I tried to watch that, and my problem with it is that they want to keep using Ash as the main protagonist, which is fine, but every region he just decides, okay, I'm going to only keep Pikachu normally, and just start all over, which I guess is fine, but when these trainers come up, like in this episode...
These noob trainers, that it's their first fucking battle.
And Ash loses, and it's like, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, like, even if his Pikachu had no power, had no moves, he should still win, because, I don't know if you remember, he always came up with, like, unconventional strategies.
Yeah, to win.
Yeah. Plus, Pikachu has, like, invented a bunch of moves. Pikachu has beaten, like, Dragonite and shit like that. Like,
exactly. He's essentially, in game standards, at least by the time Black and White, he is level 100.
Well, Ash is based on Red, I think.
Okay.
And in the games, in Gen 2, Red had an 88 Pikachu. So,
okay, so yeah.
that was the
Pikachu should have
gen.
maxed out by now.
Yeah. Imagine if Pikachu was a goddamn Raichu. Ash would never have to catch another Pokemon again. He would wreck everything.
Yeah. The only reason they don't is because Pikachu is apparently cuter than Raichu.
Of course. Plus, it's kind of like the face, the mascot, and all that.
Yeah. Which actually I think was supposed to be Bulbasaur, or one of the starters.
No, it was supposed to be Clefairy. Originally, I think.
Well, in that case, I'm kind of glad it was Pikachu, because I don't really like Clefairy. But yeah, that's pretty much my... after watching him lose...
What about the games?
Well, we're not... I played the games,
but it's still the Pokemon franchise.
I guess. I've played first gen, remake of first gen, second gen, remake of that, remake of the third. I never played the original of the third. And I've played, I think, every gen after that, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Nice.
And that's about, So that's where I'm at.
I don't think either of us have read any of the manga.
No.
Okay.
So that's what I was, Pokemon-wise, that's where I was going into this first episode.
Yeah. For me, Pokemon is just, I've been a fan of Pokemon since I was a kid. I originally got Red and Blue. I played more of Blue than Red. My brother had Red. But, I played the shit out of them over and over. Like, I used to just fuck the game up, go to the Elite Four, beat them, go catch Mewtwo, and then just start over. So I played Red and Blue and Yellow, and then I played Pinball, which was great, Snap, Stadium 2, Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Crystal was fucking awesome. I played Ruby, not Sapphire, Emerald, fucking not Fire Red. I played Leaf Green. I played Heart Gold. You played Soul Silver. Because a lot of the times, actually, with the newer games, I'll get one of them and he'll get the other.
Yep.
So I got Heart Gold, he got Soul Silver. I played Diamond. I think he played Pearl. I played Platinum. I played Black. No, he played Black. I played White. I played Black 2. I don't know if he ever got White 2 or Black 2.
No.
No. It was pretty good. You should get it. I played X. He played Y. And then I got Omega Ruby and he got Alpha Sapphire. So that's as far as games go. I've played most of them, and Pokemon Snap. Like, I love Pokemon as a series. As far as the show goes, when I was a kid, I watched all of the first series. I watched a good portion of the Orange Islands. I watched a portion of the Johto Journeys or whatever, the one that came after that. And I think I stopped watching at 3rd gen, Ruby Sapphire, but I did see random episodes here and there. I haven't seen, like, almost any episode in Diamond Pearl, except I saw one where fucking Ash or someone is fighting Cynthia, and her Garchomp fucking wrecks, which is badass. One of my favorite Pokemon. I haven't seen... Well, I have now. When I was a kid, I never saw it, but I watched Black and White and the follow-up to Black and White and the follow-up to that, but I haven't finished the whole Black and White, like, saga, I guess. And then I haven't seen any X and Y.
So yeah, so this is another show where he has seen it and I haven't.
And I'm very biased towards Pokemon, which you're going to see when I start talking more about it, because I fucking love it. I love it.
I love it.
So,
what was the last one we did? What was the last one before this that we did?
The show? We did Digimon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we'll do the same again, where it's since it's a show you've seen, I'll try to give a summary, and then you give the final points.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's another adventure with Ash.
Of course.
And since I didn't see the last...
Real quick, it doesn't start with him going there. He's going on a vacation with his mom and Oak, and they just go to the Unova region, and then when he gets there is when he decides to take his journey. So
okay. Well, I don't know. Since I didn't see the season before this, I don't know why he's on his way back, like what happened and what happened to the people he was with or anything.
Yeah.
And
you don't know any of that.
But usually you can just say, like, okay, they decide, yeah, we're going to go follow our dream and do our own thing. Yeah. And Nash is like, I'm just going to keep going.
With Black and White, it very much feels like a standalone show. Like, it is a sequel. He does go there next after the last one, but it has nothing to do with anything previous. Like,
well, a lot of the series
feels like its own thing now.
Well, a lot of times they just like, okay, we're going to get rid of all the Pokemon except for Pikachu. We're going to get rid of the people he was with and just start over.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of a trend that they keep doing.
Yeah.
Because they love Ash. I don't know why. Ash has been like 10 years old.
Actually, I think Ash is like 14 or 16 or something now, technically.
He cannot be that old. He cannot be that old. But regardless, so yeah, he goes and you get to see Oak again, which was kind of cool, and his mom. And I was like, hey, I remember them from the first series.
Yep. And I believe, by the way, her name is Delia, I believe. But I think she has the same voice actress, but I don't think Oak has the same one.
As the first series?
Yeah, he sounded different to me.
Okay. And so yeah, like you said, they go to what is the place called? Unova?
Yeah, Unova.
Unova
it
region.
Might be Unova. I'm not actually sure how it's pronounced.
Do they ever say it?
Probably. I usually just call it Unova.
Unova?
Yeah, Unova.
So they go there on vacation, and Ash is just like, holy crap, look at all these Pokemon that only exist in this one area for some reason.
Mm-hmm. And then people to him are like, holy crap, you have a rare Pokemon. What is that?
Yeah, is that a Pikachu? What the And
those don't exist here.
There's this big dark cloud that comes over, and we don't know what's in it at first.
Spoiler alert, it's the shadow of Zekrom.
Pretty much. That is the shadow
of
Zekrom.
By the way, I don't know if we said, but this first episode is in the shadow of Zekrom.
Yeah. And Zekrom, I guess, is a legendary. We haven't seen him yet.
Nope.
You don't see him in the first episode. I think you see an outline of him.
You do.
But you don't get to see him, and I think they talk about him a little bit. I don't know what he is. Justin, you've played the game. What is Zekrom's like? What is he the legendary of?
Reshiram and Zekrom represent truth and ideals.
And is he the ideals?
I'm not positive. I'm not sure which is which, but they basically, it's like... Because the whole thing in Black and White, the whole like story in the games is kind of like there's the things that we want to do, but we don't necessarily we probably shouldn't do, and things like Geass and Team which is it Plasma? No, yeah, Team Plasma. Okay. They're trying to get people to release their Pokemon and stuff like that. Which you later find out, spoiler alert, Geass is an asshole. He's doing it because he wants to be powerful. But the ideals are there. The ideal that if we're friends with Pokemon, why do we confine them or contain them in these Pokeballs? So there's the ideals, but then there's the truth, and it's just truth versus ideals. And I'm not sure which he is, but them being Black and White probably has something to do with yin and yang and the balance and all that. So
Pikachu gets shocked by lightning. From Zekrom.
A gigantic lightning bolt.
Yeah.
And, a beam of energy.
But he seems okay. He doesn't seem hurt or anything.
His electricity is just kind of fucked up. They do.
Well, you don't find that out until a little bit later.
Well, they do tests on him, and he's sparking a lot and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Well, they go to the Professor Oak of Unova.
Yeah,
which is
Juniper.
Juniper.
Which is kind of funny, because if you think about it, it's like Professor Oak, which is a tree, which is kind of phallic.
Yeah.
Professor Birch, which is a tree, Professor Elm, which is a tree, and then you get to the female professor, and it's Juniper, which is a bush. This is kind of funny, but whatever.
I just caught that. Nice.
Whatever.
Of course, while they're there, what is that fucking kid's name? Trip. This kid named Trip, and he's just starting his his Pokemon adventure.
Mm-hmm. His career.
And his kind of thing is that he takes lots of pictures. I don't think they really explained it.
He just likes to chronicle his journey.
Which is kind of cool because that's almost a reference back to the kid from the first
Tracy?
series. Tracy. No.
That was Tracy was the artist, the sketch artist.
Yeah.
Trace, obviously.
Uh,
The kid from Pokemon Snap.
yeah, what's his
I
name?
don't-
But anyway, there was a kid that took pictures. That was his shtick.
Yeah.
But Trip is a dick. Like, he just does not like Ash for some reason. And in reality, he should be kissing the feet Ash walks on because he fights legendaries on, like, a monthly basis.
His name is Todd Snap.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So Pokemon Snap now takes on a little bit more of a meaning.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, and he's, Trip gets a Trico? Snivy.
No,
He
not
gets a
Trico.
Snivy.
Wrong generation. He gets
Yeah,
a
he
Snivy.
gets a Snivy.
A pompous
And-
asshole Snivy.
And you can just tell that fucking Ash is going to get Oshawott just because of the way like Oshawott was acting, and he's like the kind of the pussy of the three.
Yeah.
And,
Oshawott in the show, he's not like a pussy or anything. He's just kind of like he wants to prove himself, and he's kind of like a bumbling idiot that wants to prove himself. That's kind of how he acts.
Okay.
He always messes up and makes mistakes, but he wants everyone to love him and think he's cute and shit like that.
And so Ash is like, hey, let's have a Pokemon battle. And the guy's being a dick, and he's like, fucking, I guess.
I guess so.
I'll just whoop your ass anyway, but whatever.
I will say
Now,
this, though. Snivy cannot be level 5 because he uses Leaf Tornado.
And so what level does he learn?
I have no idea, but he's got to be at least stronger than that, you know?
It doesn't... See, here's the thing. And this is the moment when I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this show anymore. So Ash fights, Pokemon. Pikachu fights Snivy and loses badly. And the explanation is, he can't use any of his electric attacks, and that's like half, if not more, of his, his shtick.
Yeah.
But here's the fucking thing. Pikachu has been around since the first fucking episode, and he still has non-electric moves like Quick Attack, Tackle, or Scratch, whatever the fuck he had.
He has Iron Tail.
He's got Iron Tail, and this Snivy, literally, he picked him up like maybe an hour before.
It was the Snivy's first battle.
Exactly, and he's just all smug about it, and I'm always thinking like, why doesn't Ash just like, oh, hold on, let me go get my fucking Charizard real quick, or my Herd of Tauros, or my Muck, or any of the other motherfuckers that I have.
Let me just call Mewtwo back. Let me call
my buddy
fucking Latias.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I fought the fucking legendary birds, you piece of shit. And I fought, I guess did he fight Entei? Or did he just...
He fought him with Charizard, yeah.
Yeah, I fought one of the dogs.
They're not dogs. Entei's not a dog, Suicune's not a dog, Raikou's not a dog.
I heard it.
They're
somewhere.
roaming legendaries, is what they're roaming trio.
Fucking...
Raikou's a fucking saber-toothed tiger.
I don't know why. I think I saw somewhere that they were like the three dogs because of the three birds.
Yes, that's just what people call them, even though they're not dogs. And Suicune is not an ice type; it's a water type.
That is true.
Yeah.
And Entei's a fire type.
Misconception.
And,
yeah, and Raikou's electric.
Yeah.
Or Raikou, however it's pronounced.
However that's pronounced. And he loses, and I think
my explanation is that when Zekrom zaps Pikachu, it, resets his level. That's my explanation.
And if that happens, that's such a load of shit.
Yeah, it is, kind of. But it makes a little more sense.
I guess, but if they're really going to go that route, the thing is, I'm just kind of tired of Ash.
Oh, yeah.
As a whole. Like, either give him his Pokemon, make them decently strong so that he can just kind of whoop ass, or pick a new guy. I'm just kind of tired.
Well, he's not that bad in this show. He's actually pretty decent.
Who, Ash?
Yeah.
He should be. He's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't age, he's fucking immortal, but he should be just amazing at this.
Mm-hmm. And we haven't met him yet, but one of his main companions, Silent, at first I didn't like him, but he's fucking awesome. He's like my favorite character in this show.
Well, if we choose this show, we'll talk about
Absolutely. I hope we do, because
and I guess
I love Pokemon.
the way the episode ends is, they're like, holy crap, that's Zekrom! And you see this big thundercloud, and it kind of just ends on that cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's like, so what's going on with Zekrom, the legendary Pokemon? Find out next time.
And I remember the outro is pretty basic. It's not as bad to me as the intro, but it's just...
For me, there wasn't an outro, because the video just ended before the outro.
Oh, okay. I watched it on Netflix.
Oh, okay. I watched it online. Here are my notes. The opening shots get me hyped because I'm biased towards Pokemon. The intro is lol-worthy, but I do enjoy it. The art style is Pokemon, but better. Because it looks like Pokemon, but it's a little more, defined. It looks better. The animation is pretty tight. It's Pokemon. Characters, familiar faces, it's Pokemon. Voices, it's Pokemon. Music, it's Pokemon. Wow factor, it's Pokemon. And then my note, I'm pretty biased. Because, it's all so... it oozes Pokemon. And if you like Pokemon, you'll like the show. That's how I feel.
I actually left something out. It's only kind of a tidbit, but Team Rocket is still around.
I like the way they changed Team Rocket.
Well, in the first episode, they don't...
Yeah, you don't see enough of it.
They just, they have a new black uniform. Giovanni makes an appearance, too. If you don't know Giovanni, he's the leader of Team Rocket.
Yeah, he's like, go to fucking Unova.
Yeah, go to Unova and...
do some shits.
That's all they do. They show up for that scene, and then that's it.
Well, if you remember, they, throughout the series, have been bumbling fools. Jesse and James. In this one, they're not bumbling fools at all. I don't think they mess up, and there's no blasting off, as far as I remember. They pull their stunts, and they actually are successful most of the time. But you don't see... They're not, like, there episode to episode to episode. They show up every now and then to do a little bit of story stuff. And then, like, the finale of it is, like, a big thing. Like, I think the second series, there's a finale involving Giovanni and, like, the mirror that changes things and Meloetta and shit like that. Like... They do stuff, but they're not, like, always there trying to capture Pikachu. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're actual villains. They're not bumbling fools. Okay. Which I really like.
And there's, like, a note I wrote here that Meowth says that Ash's Pikachu is the strongest in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's backed by anything, if that's just his opinion, but that would actually make sense because he never let him evolve. So,
that's true.
By Pikachu standards, yeah, he's probably pretty damn strong.
Plus he's got Volt Tackle, which is Pikachu's ultimate ability.
Exactly. But against a Raichu with the same experience, he'll lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's Raichu. He's just better.
Mm-hmm.
The only Raichu that you really get to see that plays any kind of... is Surge's, and the only reason he kind of sucked is because he evolved them before he learned Quick Attack.
He was too slow.
Yeah.
What is too slow?
Too slow. You're too slow.
Oh, here's something that happens. I don't know if you remember, but when Pikachu uses Volt Tackle against Trip, he starts, but then he just, like, stops and starts breathing heavily, and he's, like, sweaty. That might be why he lost, because he just doesn't, after that attack from Zekrom, he just doesn't have the energy to fight. Because if you remember, he, like, dodges Snivy pretty decently.
Yeah.
But then the Leaf Tornado just fucking owns him and sends a giant crater into the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Snivy learns Leaf Tornado at level 16.
Okay.
So,
but
that's still not, like, 60 or anything, but...
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, they did keep the... it was kind of cool and nostalgia-wise that they kept the Who's That Pokemon.
Yep.
I didn't know if they were going to have that or not.
Did you get it right?
I don't remember.
Easy. It's like, Who's that Pokemon, Pidove? It's Pidove! Oh, yep, there you go.
Oh, there you go.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Voltorb. No, it's Jigglypuff from above.
Yeah, really? Yeah.
It's Pikachu! It's Coffee! Fuck!
But, or they could actually trick you by giving you what looks like a Magikarp, and it's a Phoebus, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm. But you could tell the difference in their fins and whatnot. If you're a true master like I am. By the way, is it Phoebus or Phoebus?
I don't know. I've never heard it
Bass.
spoken.
Even though it's one S, Phoebus.
Phoebus.
And then is it Milotic or Melodic or...
I always just said Milotic.
Yeah, I never knew it's
I guess you gotta wait for Pokemon to say it.
Yeah, I should probably go watch all those other series.
But that's really all I got for this.
Yeah.
Not a lot happened for me.
Mm-hmm. for me, all of my notes are just like, it's Pokemon. It's all irrelevant to me what happens, because I just enjoy Pokemon. Because when I watch, I'm not watching it for, like, the story, even though I can enjoy the story if it's decent, but I watch it because I like seeing the Pokemon battles, and I like seeing the Pokemon world as if it were a place instead of just some game place, you know?
Yeah.
So
final verdict?
4.5.
Ooh, so this and Gurren Lagann is what you're leaning towards?
Yep.
I gave it a 2.5. Or, I'm sorry, 2 out of 5.
Ooh, less than the others? You son of a bitch.
Less than the just because I'm tired of Ash.
You're tired of Ash?
Tired of Ash.
Son of a bitch.
But maybe you can convince me. You know, your points about the whole why he lost. Okay.
Let's make a little more sense.
Makes a little bit more sense, but
here's something, if this means anything. You get to see Ash actually train his Pokemon. Like,
oh, it's not just battle after battle and time skip and
yeah, he like there's a part where he's training to Pig because he's got to fight like some gym leader or something, and he's like trying to teach him Flame Charge or something like that. And so they're like running on treadmills, and he's doing the training with the Pig, and they're like throwing like fucking balls at him or something, and he's got to dodge them and everything. Like, he actually trains with his Pokemon, which is kind of cool.
I remember you saying that this series, if they haven't done it before, they're more accurate to the games. Like when they use Roar, it actually does what Roar does in the game.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool. I am curious to see the Roar.
Yeah, okay, so if there's an episode, like, it'll take a little bit to get here, but if there's an episode that really clinched the show for me, once he gets to the second gym battle, like, his fight with Lenora, and just Lenora in general, was just awesome. It sold me for the rest of the show.
Nice.
The Aunt Jemima character.
Yeah.
Big black lady. With the apron and all that, yeah.
Do you got anything else that you want to say?
No. I'm good with Pokemon. You've heard me fanboy over it, so there's really not a whole lot more I could really say without it being one big circle jerk.
Pretty much. Okay.
So number 5, the last one that we're going to talk about here.
Which is Code Geass.
Code Geass.
Or Geass. Geass. What is do you want to say the name of the episode?
Hold on, let me click off of here. Out of that one. Okay, The Day a New Demon Was Born.
Yes.
Is the first episode of Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion.
Yes. So, Justin, I'm sure I've told you about it, but other than that, you've never really seen anything.
I've seen like clips on like, say, I don't know, Adult Swim or something, but I've never watched an episode besides this one.
Okay, so this is basically like Gurren Lagann, where I've seen its entirety, and there's actually Lelouch of the Rebellion, and which Code Geass, and then Code Geass R2, which continues.
Yeah.
So there's 2 different series, but it's a sequel, and it follows directly after. It's not like time skip later.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much our history with that. I thought it was really good, and it's another show that I was like, Justin, I think you'll really like it because I feel like it's a very smart show.
Yeah, you described it as being a giant chess game.
Yes, and I thought you would really appreciate the
strategy, tactics, and the intellect and all that. Because I do like intellect, I guess. I like the smart shit.
So if you want to give your summary of the first episode, now we'll fill in the finer details.
All right, so it starts off with just like flashing image, like the opening shots are just like flashing images of stuff, and like they're talking about things and
exposition.
Yeah, I guess the story is that Britain took over Japan and just kind of fucked everyone up, and all the Japanese are scum for some reason. I don't know. I don't really get that, but right before the like, not the intro, but the like opening shots ends, I assume it's a young Lelouch just kind of says like, I'm gonna save Japan or some shit.
Like a child Lelouch, right? Not teenage.
Yeah, like a young Lelouch child, yeah. And then he does the intro, and then it starts off, if I remember correctly, there's like a dude playing chess, And then this other guy's like, oh my god, ah! Then Lelouch shows up and he taps him in. He's like, all right, when do we got to get to class? Oh, we got 12 minutes or something? Okay, well, I'll be able to beat him in that time. It's like, what the fuck? You only have 30 seconds per move or some shit like that. And then cut to, oh, I owned him. I whooped his ass in 9 minutes. So I guess Lelouch is brilliant. And then they're kind of at school, and there's a terrorist group, and they're, like, going around or something, and this king dude talks over the screen to his people, but then when he actually gets off it, he's at a party, and he's just putting on an image, and he's one of the noblemen or something with all his up-class high people and all that shit.
Right.
And Lelouch and his friend, I do not remember his name. This was the first one I watched out of all of these, so it is the most hazy. But they're, like, driving, and then these terrorist guys, well, it's a guy and a girl, in a vehicle, like, they cut them off or something, and they go careening off like a not a cliff, but like off of a ledge or something, and then they crash. So Lelouch goes down there, and the enemies, the like Britain army or whatever, they show up, and they mistake Lelouch as like a terrorist, and they're just killing everybody for whatever reason. Like, they don't really say it. If they might have, and I just missed it, but the Britons just think the Japanese are scum for some reason. They just blindly hate them for whatever reason. So they're going around just killing all these people, old people in their house and children and all that. And so it's all very boring for me. Like, not a whole lot's happening. But then at the very end, which is where it finally, like, interested me and it made me want to see more, is there's this chick in, like, this fucking robot egg, because, of course, that's how it always is. It opens up, and there's some mysterious girl with power that nobody knows anything about or whatever. And so the guys come up, and they're going to kill Lelouch, and she kind of, like, looks at him and stops time or something, and she's talking to him about power and all this, and then she gives him what I guess is the Geass, which is the symbol on his eye. Yeah. And he starts talking to these people, and then he just makes them shoot themselves in the head, and then he says like a little spiel, and then it ends. So that little bit at the end right there is where it was very interesting. The rest of it, I just gave zero shits.
All right. So a couple finer points.
Yes, yes, please.
The dude's name, his name is Rivals. It's kind of funny.
Rivals?
With a Z. Yeah, Rivalz, Rivals.
Okay.
And so that's the first thing. That's his name, Rivals. And they don't actually make it to school. They're on their way to school.
Oh, they're going to school. Okay.
Yeah.
When all this goes down.
When all this crap goes down. And the guy that was talking, he's not a king. His father is king of Britannia.
Oh, okay. The guy on the screen talking to the people? He's the crown prince or whatever?
Yeah, he's just one of the princes.
Okay. Hold on, real quick, before we move on. Speaking of kings, there was a really cool line that Lelouch says when he goes to play chess against the guy, because he goes immediately, the first move he makes is he moves his king, and the guy's like, you move the king, why would you ever do that? He's like laughing at him, and he's like, a king should be willing to fight in front of his people, because if the king doesn't, stand up, then why should anyone follow him, or, something like that, which was a really cool little, like, quote, which made me a little like, I could see how there could be some smart stuff, and I do kind of like Lelouch. So, anyway, nice. Continue. Sorry.
Okay, so the reason they're terrorists, because essentially they don't really explain this, I guess, not well enough if you didn't pick up on it, but in this world, Britain never fell, because if you know anything about history, Britain used to be like the world power. Yeah. They had like colonies all over the place. Mm-hmm. And in this world, they never fell. Nobody ever beat them.
They just took over everything.
They took over everything, and they took over Japan not too long ago. And the places that they take, they don't let them keep their name. Like, Japan's no longer Japan, it's Area 11.
Yeah.
And the people who live there are 11s. And so, if you're not British, you're just
scum.
You're
seriously, they just treat them like they're subhuman filth.
Pretty much.
For whatever reason. It just seems like, I don't know why. They don't allude to why. They're just dicks to them for some reason.
It's just because they're not.
You're garbage.
Yeah. And so...
and there's mechs. Forgot to mention.
Yeah, they fight in mechs.
Yes.
You know, the British have mechs, and that's what they do. So, like Justin said, while they're driving to school, they see this truck that runs into a building, and Lelouch runs down.
Well,
he goes,
they, ran him off the road in a way. Like, it wasn't their fault, but they even look at each other, and they're like, was that our fault?
Well, okay. And so Lelouch goes to check if everybody's okay, and he jumps into the back, and he sees that there's, it looks like a bomb.
Yeah, it does.
And they even say, somebody says, that's a gas
Yeah,
bomb.
they think it's full of poisonous gas.
And the driver, which is a chick and a dude, go driving because they want to get away, and Lelouch gets taken with, and they end up in this, underground parking thing, I guess, and, the dude, blows up the front. The chick gets out.
Yeah.
But the dude is, he's injured. He got shot.
Yep.
So he just blows it up, and it doesn't affect the back or anything, which is funny to me.
Yeah.
But the dude there's a guy
mm-hmm.
that you missed about talking about. He's actually kind of important. He's Lelouch, because there's a flashback when Lelouch is a kid.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Forgot
Yeah,
about it.
he
He talks
shows
to
up
this,
and
old friend of his or something.
Yeah, his name is Suzaku. And he's like, wait, you're Suzaku. And they're like, holy crap, we're on opposite sides, because Suzaku works with the British.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of the law.
They're honorary Britons. As long as they show pure, what's the fucking word? Loyalty.
Yeah. And, they're talking, and then the bomb opens up, and a girl comes out. And these people come up, and these other soldiers, and they're like, oh, we're going to shoot him. And Suzaku's like, no, they're not terrorists. They're just kids. He's just a student. He doesn't matter. And they're like, we're going to kill you too.
Yeah.
And they shoot him.
Well, no, first they're like, no, you're going to kill him.
Oh, yeah, no, show your loyalty and kill him. And he's like, no, he's not a threat. I'm not going to shoot him because he's not a threat.
Yeah, he's unarmed. And, is this what we do? Are we dicks? Yes, we're dicks.
Yeah. And, so like he said, there's this whole moment where Lelouch is talking to the chick, and he gains the power, and I don't know if you caught this, but what he does is he looked them in the eye, and in their eyes, the symbol shows up,
mm-hmm.
or their eyes turn a different color, I don't remember which, and then they shoot themselves, and yeah, that's how it ends, the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
I could see why the first, not even the first half, the majority of it's kind of boring, because they have to set up a bunch of crap.
Well, a lot of it isn't even that it's particularly boring. It just seems so cliched and typical, at every turn.
Yeah.
Until the end. And then at the end, I'm like, oh, what's this?
Oh, it's almost like, I don't know, eating a food that you don't like. And, you get a meal, and you don't know anything on it, and then you're trying all these different foods. It's like, this is kind of bland, this is kind of bland. This is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah.
But, yeah, some notes. What do we got for notes?
For me, the opening shots are interesting. You learn a bit of the story, exposition. The intro, do not care for it. And I would, of course, prefer it in English, because I'm not, whatever. The shots seem fine, but the song kills it for me.
Okay,
but it's also very typical anime intro, now here he is, covered in his cloak, standing on a fucking pole in the middle of nowhere for some reason, with the wind blowing on him. And now here's this, and here's that. It all seems, a lot of this show for me, so far, seems so typical. I mean, I don't know when it came out. I don't know if other shows have copied it, or if it's copied.
2006.
But it just feels like your typical anime.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen these characters before. I've seen the shit that happens. The art style, I put meh. It's not bad, but I don't think it's that great. I'm not a huge fan of how, lanky they are.
Yeah,
everyone's super skinny.
They're super skinny. Yeah, and they're very kind of, the joints are very sharp. The elbows are super sharp.
Yeah. Everyone's tall, and it's just, weird. The animation all seems decent, seems fine. The fighting, with the mechs and all that, all looks fine. The characters, I dig Lelouch, but everyone else seems just like a typical archetype. Lelouch, too, admittedly, but a lot less so.
Yeah. What do I got? I like the mechs. They're called Nightmare Frame.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
In the show. Because they don't have a face. They just have this, like, bulbous thing with, like, a camera that kind of moves around.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool.
Because they're not like human mechs. They're just mechs. It's like a robot suit. It's not like a person.
Yes. And even the aircrafts I thought were pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. The voice acting, I've heard all the voices before, and they're all good at what they do. Like, the voice acting is top-notch.
Compared to all the other shows on our list, this one, almost every character has somebody famous. So you're like, holy crap, that's that guy from that other
I
thing.
remember this guy. I remember that guy.
Steve Blum is in it, so that should already get, like, extra points.
Nice.
Let's see. What
the
else
music,
I got?
just fine. Again, like every other show in here, there's nothing that really stands out, but there's nothing too bad. It all fits. Like, all these shows, they really seem to know what music to pair with their stuff. The outro, I just do not care at all.
The outro was mad to me, too. It's just kind of... The images were cool, but as a whole, it's just kind of...
And then for my wow factor, I like the Geass. I think it's pretty cool, and I like that there's mechs and all that. And the idea of Britannia taking everybody over and all that, it all works for me. Just not necessarily put into practice well enough, at least so far.
Right, the first episode didn't grab you until the very end.
Until the very end, yeah.
And is it one of those scenarios where it's like maybe just a little too late?
Maybe.
You know, like... Oh, yeah, Johnny Young Bosch is in this, by the way. I think he's Lelouch.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if... I just thought of that. But, yeah, like, it's for you, like, if it wasn't for that ending, would you have just completely dismissed the show?
Probably.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't dismiss the show because you've told me it's good, but I would definitely have some reservations.
Okay.
And then my last thing here, verdict. There's some interesting things and some very cliched feeling things. I could take it or leave it, but I am intrigued.
And that's all we ask.
Yep, that's all we ask.
So, you gave it a what? I'm sorry.
I gave it a 3.
I gave it a 3 as well?
Yes. This is not the lowest, but it's not the highest. Originally, I gave it a 2.5, but I was like, I'll just round it up to a 3. It's good, but it's not... I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good. For me.
Okay.
It's pretty average. But I would be willing to watch it, you know?
So that was it. That's our 5. So now we kind of have to...
You don't have anything more to...
Not really.
But...
That's pretty much... It's because I watched it, and I'm trying to, like, pick things that I was like, that's really... Like, just to give you an idea as to who are main characters in the show that they introduced, the driver, the chick driver, she's a main character.
Yeah, I could tell because of her hair.
What?
She's the chick with the red spiky hair, right?
Yeah.
Usually the characters with the more standout hair are the ones that make more sense. The people who look plain usually are not main characters.
You know what? I've never really thought about it, but that makes sense.
It is kind of true. What, did you just get a text or something?
I did. Was that super loud?
It was like, doon, 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 doon.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Then why are you apologizing?
Because, dude, because.
Again?
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought I muted it.
It's fine. Don't worry.
My bad.
Do not worry.
Okay. So now we're at the point where I guess we have to kind of figure out, now that we've talked about all of them and given them a rating, which one we really want to watch.
Yeah, what are we going to go into? And when we say watch, we mean we're probably going to do a side of on this show that we pick.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we might not, but we probably will.
So I guess we have to kind of pick what show we're really going to try to root for.
Mm-hmm. Well, what was your lowest?
My lowest was Pokemon.
And my lowest was Digimon.
Yeah.
Damn.
And
I wanted to watch Pokemon.
And I'm actually going to try to convince you to watch Digimon.
Oh, okay. Was that your highest?
Probably.
What's your highest?
I think it is Digimon.
Mine is Pokemon and Gurren Lagann with a close Naruto.
Yeah, Naruto. If it's not, Naruto is my second highest.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that makes me not want to do Naruto, because if we're going to do it for the show, we're going to be doing Naruto for a long time. Yeah,
it's going to take a really long, long time. And this is only our second show that we've done. We just got done with Gravity Falls, and that took months to do.
We've got... But that was also more because of just, like, things getting in the way and doing other stuff.
Yeah.
We've got Kingdom Hearts to finish. We've got Skyrim to finish. With Skyrim, we're not going to finish.
Park.
We've got Jurassic Park.
Yep.
We've got the double feature. Should we do music? Should we critique albums and stuff from various bands?
We could, but I don't know really what. Probably most of my remarks would just be like, I didn't like it. Or I liked it.
You don't know enough about music.
I don't know enough about the music and how what it takes to make it and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, probably you're into way vastly different.
Probably. But yeah, so what show do you really want to watch? Do you want to above the other?
To be honest, I could take any of them, but I really wanted to watch Gurren Lagann or Pokemon.
And Pokemon's my lowest, and it's gonna be hard to convince me to want to watch that. But come on. Digimon, come on,
Fan of Pokemon.
The dude punches and fist fights Digimon. I know he's kind of shitty, but. Give him a chance.
How long is Digimon?
Digimon
54 is what you said, I think.
I should.
Because that's a little while, obviously.
48.
48. Because we will be doing all the episodes, but that's certainly a lot less than some of the other ones. Gurren Lagann's probably the shortest one on here, though.
I'm actually about to look. I think Code Geass, just the first season, is 26 episodes. 26? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Naruto, just the first arc is 19 episodes.
Oh, okay. The first arc.
Yeah, which is what we'd go through before we'd leave it and go do something else.
Yeah, exactly. We do all the episodes in the arc as they came, and then we take a break to do something else, and then come back to it.
Pokemon is 48 episodes.
Yeah, those are usually pretty long.
So actually, Pokemon and Digimon are the same length.
Mm-hmm.
So
hey, if you really want to do Digimon, I don't mind.
You can get behind it, but I kind of see the thing is I kind of do want you to watch Code Geass and Gurren Lagann. I'm conflicted.
Yeah. Hey, I vote Berserk, but that wasn't on the list.
That was not. Man, I guess. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let chance decide.
Oh, you're gonna roll a D12 or D20?
Yeah, pretty much. Dice roller.
Oh, you're using an app.
Yeah.
Why don't you just use an actual dice?
I don't have
15 of them right next to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll the dice. Okay, I want you to number the shows 1 through 5.
Why are you doing a 5-sided die?
6-sided die. I don't know if they come in 5-sided die. Maybe I can find a 5-sided die.
between Gurren Lagann and Digimon?
Well, since we can literally do any of them. Well, no, because that kind of defeated
the purpose.
Yeah,
okay, so
yeah.
Gurren Lagann is evens and Digimon is odds.
Okay, and I'm gonna hit the dice. It's odds.
It was odd?
Yeah, it's 5. Is it Digimon?
Yeah.
Yes! Boom!
You're making that shit up. I demand a recount.
You want to recount?
Nah, it's okay. We can do Digimon.
Sweet.
Until it starts sucking, okay? I will put that caveat. I'll watch it, but if it sucks, I'm not going to continue.
Okay.
But I'll give it 5 episodes. That seems like a decent amount of time. 5 more episodes.
Okay, that's probably enough for the next episode, and we'll see about it, about whether or not
about it,
to see if it gets better, which I hope it does.
Me too. Like I said, it seems like it has promise, but it's just kind of lame.
A little bit. I hope it does, because if you and I don't watch it together, I'll continue watching it.
Yeah.
And then if we don't like it, what we could do is we can go and try one of the other ones, like maybe Gurren Lagann. Or,
yeah, of course.
At that point, we'll probably just do Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
And because that's really... Dude, there's a moment that will get you. It'll get your heartstrings, I'm telling you.
Really?
Yeah. Probably. Depending. I don't want to give anything away, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, dude.
Oh.
Yeah. Pretty much.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, so, yeah, that was our
First impression.
At
some point, expect to see a Digimon episode sometime.
Yeah, we don't.
I mean,
I think our next thing... Do we want to tell them what our next thing is?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I think our next thing is the double feature.
Oh, yeah. Well, the next thing we'll do is double feature, which the idea for the show is we watch two movies that are similar in some way. They've got something to do with each other. For instance, Orgasmo and Basketball. The thing they have in common is they're both old Trey Parker and Matt Stone movies.
Yeah.
But in this case are the two that we're doing, if you'd like to tell them. You chose them.
Okay. I did choose them because really I wanted an excuse to watch them, but it is the Powerpuff Girls movie, which, fuck you if you think, that's not a good movie because it's a chick movie. It is a fucking amazing movie.
Powerpuff Girls is not a chick show.
It kind of is.
Just because they're girls.
Because they're little girls.
So what? They fight giant monsters.
They do. And there's some dark shit that goes on in that.
Yes. So,
and the other
Girls movie, which I haven't seen the entirety of. I've seen parts of, but I hear it's very good.
And which is, of the two movies, that's probably going to be the more recognizable one because it got a theatrical release, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, did it?
I think.
Damn.
And the other one is called Dexter's Lab Ego Trip, which is like
a time
I
traveling
caught it
epic.
once. Yeah, I caught it once on the TV, and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. And to find it, like, it was super hard to find online, which is weird because it's the internet. You can find anything. So it was actually kind of hard to find
And
online.
that one I also have not seen, but I've seen snippets of.
Exactly. So we're going to do those next.
Oh, and the thing they have in common is they're both old-school cartoons from Cartoon Network. They're old-school movies based on cartoons.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to do the two of those, and we're going to talk about them, and just talk about what we like about each and which one we liked more.
Yeah.
After that, we'll probably do another Kingdom Hearts.
Because we're pretty much... I think
we're
we've
close to the end.
I think we're 1 or 2 episodes away from being...
I believe we're going to be 2. So I think the next one we're going to do is Neverland and Hollow Bastion and all that. And then the one after that is like the end game stuff and the end of the end of the world.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you care at all, but Netflix, side note, Netflix added Season 3 of Digimon.
I watched it on there.
Oh, I thought you watched... Oh, okay.
I watched 1, 2, and 3 on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll probably do Skyrim, and then after that, do more Jurassic Park, whatever.
Yeah, we trust us. We have a list of crap we got to get through.
Yeah. And we have stuff already recorded, also.
Dude, did you think this was going to take 2 hours? This took 2 hours.
I did not think so, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah. It's, you know why? I think the shortest one was probably Digimon. And even that took like 20, 25 minutes to get through.
Yeah.
But
now I need to go fucking make a sandwich. I'm goddamn starving.
Well, thank you for joining us on another episode of Aside of, our first edition of First Impressions, which we'll do again, but it'll probably be a while.
It will be a while, definitely.
Before we get a chance to do this again. And but it was fun, and we will do it again, hopefully.
Yeah, and when we do come around to doing it again, we'll let you know ahead of time, in case anybody wants to throw us some suggestions of things. But try to make them all somewhat relatable or related. Like, we did all animes right now.
Yeah, and then if you want, like, we were thinking about doing maybe an all Western animation or all live action. Or,
exactly.
Something to that degree. All musicals, but I would prefer not. But
why? Dude, I love musicals.
They're okay, but how many musical shows do you know?
Well, they don't have to be shows. They could be movies.
Yeah, but it really wouldn't work for first impressions because they're movies.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Fuck you.
Well, thank you for joining us. We were your hosts. Oh, comment, subscribe, like.
Yes.
But more comment, please.
Comment.
You
can't stress it enough.
I cannot stress it enough.
Every day he takes a scalpel and cuts a little bit of his flesh off. So you need to save him by commenting.
We don't condone carving yourself. Let's just put that, disclaimer.
You don't. For me, I don't give a shit. You want to cut yourself? Go for it. Just don't come crying to me when you bleed out.
What if they did? Like, just some random guy was like, hey, I'm crying to you because you told me to cut myself.
I'd be like, ha, fuck you. Is this how you treat your fans? Is this how you treat your fans? Yes.
A little bit. But, yeah, we were your hosts. I am Chris. With me was Justin.
I'm Justin.